Hey everyone, Dave here. So I want to do a quick video here on another thing we can do with Neo nodes, and that is to enable logging. So it's very simple to do. You use -- log when you start it up. And that will fire up. So what logging will do is any notifications it will log to a file. So these are things that'll come out of a smart contract. You know, you can use this a lot if you're writing a smart contract. Let's say you want another system to pick something up here. So with NEO-CLI, for instance, there's a transfer event that fires, and that generates a notification, which will say who the funds came from, who they went to, and the amount. So if you're writing an exchange, for instance, it would be great to just subscribe to these files and say, okay, there was a transaction from this person to this person. Was that A, a token that I track on my exchange? B, is it a token that is it an address that I have on the exchange? So if someone transferred a token to this exchange and I need to monitor that and update my database to reflect that, yes, I've received funds. So I wouldn't explicitly trust notifications to say, oh yes, this person has funds. I would use that as a trigger if I was writing an exchange, say, oh, there was a fund transfer. I'm now going to call the balance of function on that contract and say, okay, is there actually those funds there? But it's better to use that as a trigger. And this can save you a little bit of processing time if you're looking for notifications instead of trying to inspect every block to see if something's relevant to you. Whereas NEO-CLI is kind of applying a filter. Now it's a broad stroke. It's going to log everything from every contract. You're not going to be able to say, hey, I just want to restrict it to these contracts, which would be nice, but that is up to you as an implementer here. So NEO-CLI is running here. I've got my function all queued up here. I'm going to call start sale on my tutorial token. So if you followed my ICO videos, that's where this is from. I'm going to test that. And I'm going to invoke that. So I'm just going to look at my transaction history here and see if this confirms. And if it does, you will see here in the CLI folder, now there's an applications log folder here. And let's just bring NEO-CLI up. It's taking its sweet time. Okay, there was a confirmation and ta-da. So here we got quite the lengthy file name. This would relate obviously to the transaction ID. Let's just crack that open and see what's inside of it. So you're going to get this JSON file, all one line. You know, this is meant to be read by machines, not people. So the transaction ID, the VM state, whether it succeeded, how much gas was used, the stack. But here's what I'm interested in, and I assume most people will be too, notifications. So here's the contract. So this is where you would say, does this contract hash match a contract hash I care about? So this is the hash for the tutorial token that we built earlier. And then it's giving back some data here. Now this is going to be hex encoded. I've already plugged that into here and analyzed it. So here is the decoded ASCII of that sales start end recorded. So again, that's really handy if you're building an exchange or an app that needs to listen for events happening on the blockchain. This is the way I would do it. Some of the things I would really watch out for though is these files here are going to build up. There's no mechanism in here that will prune these files. So you're going to have to write something to manage those files. So typically, if you've read it in and processed it, you could go and delete that file after and just keep that folder clean. That's up to you. That's an implementation detail. The other thing as well that I would caution about is that if you were to start your NEO-CLI from 0 with logging enabled and run it up, So let's say we're doing this against the mainnet, which has millions of blocks. It's going to start generating a lot of these files for every notification that happens. So again, that's going to fill up your disk here. Now, you may want that because you may want to process things historically. That's fine, up to you. If you bootstrap your chain, so by bootstrapping, you can go and download an existing copy of the chain, download that and extract it to the folder. So you start off, maybe a week behind and only have to sync a week of blocks. You're only going to get that week of notifications as well. So just something to watch out for, and just be really, really careful with that, knowing when these files are going to generate and trusting when these files are going to generate. So that's all for this video. Next video will cover RPC. Thanks, everyone.